Hello everyone, I'm Frank. Welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle, and it's called Masyudoku by Oripi, and here are the rules. And take that easiness with a grain of salt, because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Anyways, here are the rules. Normal 9x9 Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 exactly once in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Kropki dots. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot have a 1:2 ratio, meaning one is exactly double the other, and not all dots are necessarily given. So as an example, if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that those are consecutive. If this were, say, a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4 to maintain the 1:2 ratio between them. And that's how Kropki dots work. Then we have also Masyu, where we draw a non-intersecting loop through the center of some cells that passes through every big circle. So these are all the big circles, and the non-intersecting loop must pass through every big circles. And it passes through the center of some of the circle cells. The colors of these circles must be determined by the solver. Okay, so and we have black circles and white circles. The loop must turn on black circles and travel straight through the cells on either side. So if this were, say, a black circle, it must turn on the black circle and travel straight through the cells on either side. So therefore, if it was this is edge. If it was turning this way, these would have to continue on straight through the cells that it's next to the turn, right? So for these two cells that are next to the turn, it has to turn in the cell. But for the turns that are the cells that are next to that turn, they have to continue straight through. They cannot turn again here. Right, so this would not be this movement would not be valid, because if this was a black circle, because it has to continue straight through the cells that are that's one away from the turn. There's also white circles. And the loop must go straight through white circles and turn in at least one of the cells on either side. So if this were, say, a white circle, it must travel straight through, and then it has to turn on the cells on either side. So this has to turn here, and this has to turn here. And all the circles are either black circles or white circles, but not all valid circles are given. So we don't have to necessarily always, we could have in fact, we actually have to have a cell on the path. Well, we don't have to, but we could have something that acts like a black circle or a white circle in this grid, which is not currently shown. Okay, additionally, white circles contain even digits, and black circles contain odd digits. So all the black circles must have an odd digit in them, and all the white circles must have even digits in them. So again, if this were black, say this was a black, then it would have to be odd. So it'd be 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. And if this were a white circle, it would have to be even. So it would have to be 2, 4, 6, or 8. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind is seeing 4 cells with 3 black crop key dots in between them. Now that combination has to be 1, 2, 4, and 8 because that's the only set of digits that actually can be doubled 3 times, right? So these two have to be 2 and 4. And therefore, they contain even digits, so these have to be white dots. Since this is a white dot, in the white dots, the loop must, okay, sorry, the white circles. It's really hard to distinguish, though. I'm gonna make the white circles green and all the black circles blue because it's hard to see these. These are the white circles. They must go straight through white circles and turn in at least one of the cells on. Oh, so it has to turn on one of the cells on either side. So it doesn't have to turn on both, right? Okay, so therefore this must go straight through. And it can only go straight through this way. So this has to go straight through. And then this obviously has to turn. This has to turn too, because otherwise it doesn't work. So since it turns on a circle, this must be a black circle, which we will color blue. And then it must travel straight through the cells on either end. So therefore this must go straight here. This isn't a circle either way. This circle is a black circle, so it must be an odd digit, which makes this a 1. This has to be 1, which makes this a 2, which makes this 4, which makes that 8. Because otherwise, the choices were 1 and 8 here. And obviously, it's not 8 is even, so couldn't it be a black circle then? This is consecutive with 1, so this must be 2, which makes this a 3. Okay, what else do we know? We know we have 3 cells here separated, which they all see each other, so they all must be unique, and they basically have 2 black crop key dots in between them. Oh yeah, and the important thing here was that they all saw each other, right? You can have 3 crop key dots if they don't see each other. These could be just a pair, right? But these have to be distinct, different, and neither of these could be 2. So this has to be 4 and 8, and then this is 2. Because 1, 2, 4 doesn't work, because 2 has to be in the middle, and this can't be 2. So this must be specifically 2, 4, and 8. Therefore, this is a 4. White circles contain even digits, so this is a green. Which means it must go straight through and then turn on one of the cells in the side. We don't know what this is. Okay, so if this were a black circle, they have to turn on the circle and they travel straight through the cells on either side. So therefore, this would have to go straight if this is a black circle, but it can't go straight because it turns again. So this must be essentially a white circle, which means it's even. The only other even in the cell is a 6. So it must go straight through. It already turns in one of the cells surrounding, but it does have to get through here. And these are only, I'm gonna make the evens all blue and the odds all red because that's how I normally do it. So then the black circles are essentially the red ones and the white circles are the blue ones. So these are blue. This is blue. The rest of these must be red. This is blue. The rest of box 9 has to be red because we can only have 4 even digits per row, per box, or per column. This is even also. So this one is a black circle where it has to turn and then go straight. Well, it can't turn here and then go straight. It has to turn on the circle and then go straight for each one. Well, this command cannot continue this way. So this actually has to continue that way. This can't continue that way because it can't intersect with itself. So it has to turn. It cannot turn here because that doesn't work. It can't turn here because that doesn't work. It has to turn here specifically. And it must continue on. So it must continue on here. This is blocked off, so this actually has to continue here. You cannot actually connect this way. So both of these... This could turn this way, though. And in fact, it has to. Because this has to be one where it has to be a white circle, which is an even number. Because it cannot turn here and then go straight, because this is that it has to turn here and then it would go straight, but that can't go straight there. So it has to go straight then first, and then turn in one of the cells on either side. It's not this one, it has to be here. So it has to turn here then. So it has to go here straight and then turn. This cannot connect because then all the other circles are forced to not have a... They don't have the loop pass through it. So this must go this way, which means this is a turning circle, which must be black, which is red. So it goes straight through here. This has to be then a blue. This has to be a turning circle because there's no other way for it to... It can't go straight through, right? So this has to be turning, which means it's specifically going this way. Which means this is a red, because it's a black circle. Must contain an odd digit. This has to continue this way. This cannot be turning, because if it were turning, it would have to turn and continue either here, but the problem is that would make an intersecting line here, or go through here, which goes off the grid. So this has to be a straight through, and this is an even cell, which is a white circle. And the only way it can go straight through, it cannot go straight through this way, because then that would form essentially its own loop. So it has to go this way, which means it must connect here. And it already turns here, so that's fine. This one has to continue at least to here. What about these? If you tried turning in one of these, it would have to extend this way, and then this would no longer be allowed to go straight through. You would not be able to connect this. So this cannot be turning because of that. This can't be turning for the same reason, right? If it turns, it has to go straight through here, and this can no longer be part of the loop. So therefore, these must be essentially the ones that go straight through, which are the white circles, which we colored blue. And one of them has to turn on the sides, and this one turns already on this side, so that's fine. But this is an even circle, and it's next to another digit with a white circle between them. Sorry, yeah, even circle, and therefore this must be odd, which means it has to turn here. So this has to turn here because on odd digits, the loop must turn and then travel straight through the cells on either side. So it travels straight through here, travels straight through here. That's fine. This already turns, so this one's satisfied for the even. This then also has to be odd, right? Because there's no other way it can go straight through, so therefore it has to be essentially this way. Well, this connects this way, Ooh, I didn't even describe the loop very well. Okay, well, this has to connect here because there's no other way to connect it. This cannot go straight through. Well, I mean, it could go straight through, actually. It cannot turn if it turns this way. It could turn this way, or go straight through this way. Either way, it goes straight. It will go through here. Therefore, this cannot continue turning here, so it has to go straight here. This could turn here. We don't know. This has to be even because it's next to, it's consecutive with an odd digit, which forces this to be odd because consecutive with an even digit. One of these is even. One of them's odd. We're not sure. This is odd because, again, it's consecutive with an even digit. This must be odd, and it's 7 or 9 specifically. This must go straight through and then turn, but we don't know which way. This has to be even because it's consecutive with an odd digit. Therefore, the rest of the digits in the column have to be odd because we have 4 evens already. This is 2 or 4. This must be 1, 3, or 5 to be consecutive with 2 or 4. This cannot be 2 or 4, and it must be in a 1 to 2 ratio with an odd digit. Well, cannot be 2 because we already have a 2-4 pair in the box, so it must be 3 and 6. So this has to be 6. This is 3. This is odd. This is odd. Okay, these are consecutive, so one's odd, one's even. Okay, this can't turn. If this turned, this doesn't extend. It can't go 2 past, right? It cannot continue through the cell because it would have to connect to this cell. So this has to be going straight through, which means this is an even digit here. It has to go straight through, and then it must turn. Well, it can't turn here because then it doesn't form a loop, so it has to turn here. And this one can't go anywhere but here, so this connects that way. So this is currently the loop. Could turn here. Okay, so this one, if it turns, it has to turn this way, and then that blocks this part of the loop. So this cannot be turning. This has to go straight. So then it has to go straight through here, which means it must turn after going straight through. So it has to turn either this way or this way. We're not sure where. So it turns one of these two. One of these is even and one of these is odd because they're both consecutive. Therefore, the remaining digits in it are all odd. And since this is odd, it has to turn on one of these, which means it turns this way. Either way, we're not sure which. It turns this way, going straight through. Therefore, it must go straight through this one, which makes this the even one. And therefore, it must turn here. So it turns one way and then turns another. So say it turned this way. If it turned this way, the problem is this doesn't continue anywhere. So it must turn from here. So it turns this way. Again, it cannot turn this way, so it has to turn this way. It must go straight through if it goes straight through this way. This goes straight through, so this must be an even. But it doesn't turn. Ooh, that's not good. Hold up. I don't think it actually can. Well, this is weird. This cannot be a blue because if it goes here, it has to turn. I mean, it could be blue, but it can't be red. This has to be blue. It has to go straight through. And it has to turn here. Because it must turn on one of the cells on either side. Um, hmm. That doesn't look like it works. Hmm. Right, but this cannot be turning, right? Because that's not allowed. So it has to go here, straight through, and then turn. Which means it could turn once. But how does that work? It can't go straight through and then... Can it turn? It can't, right? It would always have to turn in here. And then it would have to go straight, which doesn't work. So these have to be straight. Which means it must connect this way. This is... yeah. So this has to be straight. So this must connect this way. How does this work? This can never be red, because if it were red, it would have to turn. I guess it could turn there, but the problem is this can't go straight anymore then. Hmm. We have a problem here. So this has to be turning. Okay. Well, if this is turning, it has to continue on this way, which makes this a blue. This is a red, so that's fine. This has to turn here. This then cannot turn. It has to go straight, which and then turn. So then it goes straight and then turns. This has to go this way. So this is a red, this is a blue, which makes this a 6. This is a 1-to-2 ratio. These are all red. This must continue this way. Oh, I don't know why I made this blue. It has to go this way, right, to connect. Otherwise, there's no other way to connect. And then this has to be a red. I don't know why, yeah. I don't know why I forced that to be blue. Weird. Okay. So then it has to continue here, right? It has to continue through here. Okay. So this is even. These are even. This is in a 1-to-2 ratio. This is in a 1-to-2 ratio. One of these is, so this is the loop here. One of these is a 6, and one of these is a red. We have 4 reds here. One of these is blue, one of these is red. This is blue, this is red. So this is, the remaining digits here are 2, 4, and 8. 2 could be with 1, 2 could be with 4, 4 could be with 2, or 8, 8 could be with 4. Hmm. Let's see. We have one of these is odd and even. These are consecutive. This is 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. So if this is 2, it could be with 1 or 4, and this could be 1 or 3. If this is 4, it has to be with 2 or 8, and this would have to be 4, 3 or 5, and this is 1, 3, 5, or 7. If this is 6, this would be 3 then. Okay, this has to be 2, 4, or 6, so this is also 1, 3, 5, or 7. Can't be 3 though. It's 1, 5, or 7. This has to be 1, 5, 7, or 9. This is in a 1-to-2 ratio. It cannot be specifically 2, 4. So it could be 1, 2. It could be 1 and 2. It could be 4 and 8. And this is 8, this is 4. Or it's 3, 6. This is an even digit. So this is 4, 8. It's in a 1-to-2 ratio. So this has to be another even. So this is, because 4 and 8 is only next to 2, 4, or 8. And this is 2 or 8. So either one this is, cannot be 4. 2 and 8 is 1-to-2 ratio with 4. So this is 4, which makes this 3 or 5. This has to be 1, 3, 7, or 9, but can't be 3. So this is an odd. And we have 5 odds in box 3, which eliminates all odds in box 3, so these must be even. We now have 4 evens in column 7, which eliminates even from the rest of the column, so they have to be odd. Therefore, this is odd, which forces this to be even. We have 4 evens in row 2, which eliminates even from the rest of the row, so these are all odd. This cannot be 4. This has to be a 6, so therefore this is 5 and 7 here. Okay, this cannot be 4 and 2 or 4 and 8 here. Right? Because that would eliminate 2 possibilities here, which would leave this to be 8 and 8, or this to be 2 and 2. So this can never be 2 and 4, or 2 and 4 and 8. Because of that. Therefore, this is 2 or 6. This has to be 1 or 3. Okay. This is 1, 5, 7, or 9. 8 is one of these two. We're not sure which. This is 4, 6, or 8. This is 4, 6, or 8. That means the only digits that are consecutive with this would be 3, 5, 7, 9, but can't be 3, so this is 5, 7, or 9. this is 6, so this cannot be 6 here. So we have 4, 8 here. Two out of these three. Okay, so this has to be odd, no matter what. Therefore, we have 5 odds in row 1, which eliminates odds from the rest of the row. Therefore, these are 2 evens. We have 4 evens now in box 2, which eliminates evens in the rest of the box. Therefore, these must be odd. We have 4 evens in column 6, which eliminates evens in the rest of that column. So therefore, it must be all odds here. We have 5 odds in row 5, which eliminates odds in the rest of that row, so this must be even. What else do we have? We have 5 odds in row 7 now, which eliminates odds in the rest of the row. These must be both even. And they have to be specifically 4 and 8. Let's see. This can't be 6. Since this can't be 6, this can't be 3 here. Where is the 2 in box 2? It has to be here. So this is 2, which makes this 6, which makes this 3. This can't be 3. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we're getting close. This has to be a 4 and 8. We have a 4, 8, 4, 8 pair in column 6, which eliminates 4 and 8 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this must be a 6, which makes this a 5 or 7. The rest of these must be 1, 3, and 9. This can't be 3. One of these is even, one of these is odd. We're not sure which is which, though. This could be either... One of these is even, one of these is odd, but we're not sure which is which. Same here. Okay, so this is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is 1, 5, 7, 9. The rest of this box 8 is 6, 5, 6, 7, 9. But this can't be 6. So this is 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, and this is 5, 6, 7, 9. Three is here. This can't be 6. So this cannot be 5 or 7 here. Actually, it could be 5. Can't be 7. So this is 1 or 5. We have a 2, 4, 2, 4 pair in row 5, which eliminates 2 and 4 in the rest of the row. So this must be an 8, which makes this a 4, which makes this an 8. This can no longer be 4. Since this can't be 4, this can't be 8. 8's here, 8's here. 4 is one of these 2. Oh, this can't be 6. Therefore, where is the 6 in box 8? It has to be here. So this is 6 and is an even. This has to be odd. So one of these is an even and one is an odd. One of these is an even and one is an odd. Six cannot be here, cannot be here, it cannot be here, it must be here. So this is a 6, which makes this a 3. Therefore, this is even. This is an odd. The last remaining digit in column 4 has to be even and is a 2. This can't be 2. Okay. This can't be 3. We have a 1, 9, 1, 9 pair in box 2, which eliminates 1 and 9 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this must be a 3. This can't be 3. One of these has to be a 4. Because it's either, well, no, it could be 1, 2. Never mind. Uh, where is the 8 in box 6? It has to be one of these two cells, which means this can't be 8. Therefore, this is 2. That makes this an 8, which means this can't be 8. This can't be 8. This has to be then 2 with 1 or 4. So this is a 2 then. This can't be 6, so that must be 8, which makes that a 4, which makes that 8. This has to be 6 because that's the only remaining digit. We have a 1919 pair in row 3, which eliminates all 19s from the rest of the row. This can't be 1 or 9. This then is 3, 4, 5, and 7. But this can't be 4, whereas the 4 in row 3, it has to be here. So this is a 4, which makes this even. This has to be an odd. We now have 5 odds in column 3, which means the last one has to be an even, and it has to be 8. We have 4 evens in column 2, which eliminates evens in the rest of the column. So these are both odd. This has to be a 2, which means it must be next to 1 out of 1 or 5. So this can't be 1, this can't be 1. This is 5, 7, or 9 also. This is 5, 7, or 9. We have a 5, 7, 9 triplet in box 5, which eliminates 5, 7, and 9 in the rest of the box. Therefore, this must be 1 or 4. This must be 1 or 4. Which eliminates 1 and 4 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this can't be 1. This has to be a 9, which makes this a 1. This 9 means this can't be 9 here. That means one of these two must be a 9 for the 9 in box 5, which means this can't be 9. One of these is a 9. That's fine. This cannot be 1 because of this 1. So this must be a 4 then, which is the even. So this can't be 4. This is a 1, which makes this a 4. So therefore, this is odd. This has to be odd because we have 4 evens now in column 1. This is even, obviously. This is even and is a 2. We have 5 odds in row 6, which means that cannot be odd. It must be even, which is an 8. This must be odd. And this can't be 1. Now we just probably do Sudoku. This is consecutive with 6, so it has to be 5 or 7. We have a 5, 7, 5, 7 pair now in row 1, which eliminates 5 and 7 in the rest of the row. This can't be 5 or 7. This can't be 3, 5, or 7. So we have a 1, 9, 1, 9 pair in box 3, which eliminates 1 and 9 in the rest of the box. This can't be 1 or 9. This is 2, which is consecutive with 1 or 3. This has to be a 4. Where is the 1 in box 6? It has to be here because it cannot be any of these, and none of these. These are all filled out. So this has to be 5, 7, and 9. Where's the 3 in row 4? It has to be here. So this is 3. Where's the 3 in column 3? It has to be here because it can't be here. It can't be here because of the 3s in the boxes. This can't be a 3. This is 5 or 7. We have a 5, 7, 5, 7 pair in box 1, which eliminates 5 and 7 from the rest of the box. And this can't be 1, so this must be 9, which makes that a 1. This has to be 5, 7, or 9. This can't be 1. So this has to be 3, 5, 7, or 9. But this can't be 3. This is 1, 5, 7, 9. This is also 1. These are 5, 7, and 9. This has to be 1, 5, 7, or 9. This cannot be 3, so one of these two is a 3. That's fine. 2 is only consecutive with 1, so this must be a 1, which makes that a 9. These can no longer be 1. Where's the 1 in box 9? It has to be here. So this is 1, which means this can't be 1, which forces this to be 1. Oh, it couldn't be a 1 anyways. One of these two is a 7. Therefore, this can't be 7. This can't be 9 because of this 9. So this is a 5, which makes that a 7. That makes this 9. This 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 7. This can't be 5 or 7, so this is 3, which makes this a 5. This 7 means this is a 5, which makes that a 7, which makes that a 5, which makes that a 7. This 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 7. Neither of these can be 7. This is now a 5, 9, 5, 9 pair. None of these could be 7s, therefore this must be a 7 here. This can't be 7. This can't be 7. This can't be 3. Where's the 3 in row 7? It has to be here. So this is a 3. This can't be 5 or 7, so this is 9. This has to be a 5, 7 pair, but this can't be 7 because of that 7, so this is 5, which makes that a 7. This 9 means this is a 5, which makes that 9, which makes that 7. This can't be 7 or 9, so this is 5, which makes that 9. This can't be 7 or 9, so this is 5. None of this can't be 5 or 7, so this is 9, which makes that a 7. That makes this a 9, and therefore this is a 5. Yeah, a little tougher than easier for me. Partly because I messed up this part. But even then, like, in Mossy puzzles, it's fairly easy to make a mistake. So, I don't know if I would consider this easy. I would probably put this at challenging difficulty level. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.